Hey, witches and warlocks. Welcome to episode 2 of Crystals, Cauldrons, and Conversations. So, today we're going to talk all about altars, but first, I want to talk to you about some of my other projects that I have going on as well, starting with my Love in Action organization. So, it's fairly new. It's not officially a nonprofit organization, but my ultimate goal is to make it a nonprofit organization. I have hosted a couple fundraisers. I offer a listening ear to people who just feel like they have no one to talk to. I help people find resources. So I've had quite a few people reach out to me just for someone to talk to. I've helped people find resources when it comes to things like intellectual disabilities and autism because I work in that field currently. And I've been working on a fundraiser for a local veteran who is on the verge of being homeless. So yeah, not an official nonprofit, but it is ultimately my goal, but you can follow that on Facebook and Instagram. I have themes every day. I share all kinds of awareness stuff, advocacy stuff, affirmations, positivity, kindness. That's really the ultimate thing behind it is just to make a positive impact in everyday lives through, mental health awareness, wellness, advocacy, and just simple acts of compassion, trying to inspire others. So yeah, follow that on Facebook and Instagram. It's called Love in Action. Um, Full disclosure, number one, you may hear my dogs chewing on their bones in the background, and I'm not sorry about it. So something else I'm working on is I have a few books that I'm actually trying to write. One of them is about basically my mental health journey and healing from things. I've been working on that one on and off for years, so it's still a long time in the works there. And I have a couple of ideas for children's books too that I want to write. The biggest focus I have right now when it comes to writing is my affirmation book. I'm writing a daily affirmation book. I'm not going to disclose any details on it because it's still very much in the works. But once I get it finished and close to trying to self publish that, then I will release more details about it. And I'm trying to get into freelance writing too. And then, of course, I recently started this podcast. So, on top of being a full time working mom and a girlfriend, having three dogs, I just decided to throw myself into a thousand other projects because why not? But I'm not sorry about it. I love it. Yeah, those are some of my other projects. So let's dive into it. All right. So we're gonna talk about altars today. So what the hell is an altar? Oh, full disclosure number two. I do have a filter when I need to. Believe me. My job kind of causes my professional voice to come out even on this podcast, but this is my space and I cannot promise that I will always have a filter when I'm on here talking. So consider that your warning. So an altar. So an altar is not like a quote unquote place for worshiping necessarily. It's more like a spiritual workplace. It's basically a place where your intentions, energy, and symbolism all meet. They have quite a few different uses. People use them for honoring deities if that's something you work with and believe in. They use them to honor their ancestors, and they also use them to honor spirits, kind of just all based on your beliefs. Altars are also used for casting spells if you work with spells and that's something you practice. Setting intentions, which we talked about a little bit in episode 1 for the full moon. People use them for meditation, during meditation, for prayer, celebration of Sabbats, and also for the moon phases, mostly the new moon and the full moon, which I will continue to talk about the full moon and do the moon water, and then I will also get into new moon and the new moon and what comes along with that in some future episodes. People will also use them for like grounding and centering themselves, which is awesome. So Sabbats, I'm going to get into a lot of detail about in episode 3, actually. For those of you who don't know what they are a part of the Wheel of the Year, and which is the full cycle of seasons in Wiccan and pagan traditions. Sabbats are the seasonal celebrations that are within the Wheel of the Year. So definitely check out episode 3 because I'm going to go into a lot of detail about what the Wheel of the Year is and all the different Sabbats that come along with it. There are different types of altars. Um, some of them people will make permanent altars. I need to drink water. See, full disclosure, I'm not here to be perfect. Just here to be real. So there's different types of altars. There's permanent ones that people make and just always have up. There's temporary ones that people can like put together and just take down. That's, really good if you live in like a smaller space. You don't have a lot of space where you want to leave it up all the time. And some people just are more private and would prefer to take it down. Um, I want mine to kind of be for me. So I think when I make mine, it's just going to be one that I can easily put together and take down as well. And then there's ones that people will make that are specifically seasonal and for like the different Sabbats or when they want to honor ancestors. And then sometimes people will make them specifically for when the new moon occurs or the full moon occurs. So, items. Let's talk about the items that you can use in an altar. Really, you can use anything that resonates with your beliefs, which that's what I really like about the whole idea behind, Wiccan and pagan traditions. I mean, they do have traditions and guidelines, but it's really not black and white, and you can really kind of just make it your own based on what resonates with you. So I really like that. So when it comes to using different items, people will use symbols that just represent the different elements, which the elements, if you don't know, are earth, air, fire, and water. So for earth, some items people might use are crystals, stones, runes, herbs, and soil. And again, there's other ones, but those are just some examples. For air, you could use incense, which I love me a good incense. Give me them all. Feathers, I love feathers too. I have a feather hanging in my car. It's a blue jay feather. I definitely want more feathers. Bells, and one thing that came to mind actually just now is my gosh, I just lost my train of thought. Oh, wind chimes. Like I was just thinking, if you make an altar, especially if you make one outside, wind chimes would be really cool to add. I think I want to add a dream catcher actually to mine. I love dream catchers, and I have a couple of them hanging on my wall, but one of them's smaller, and I think I might actually add it, which I'm literally writing down as we speak because I'll forget if I don't. So for fire, you know, that's pretty obvious. Candles. People will use candles. And a lot of the times when people use candles, they will use colors that kind of represent the elements as well. So to do that, that would be your browns, greens, yellows, whites, reds, oranges, blues, silvers, pretty much all colors. Sometimes people even use black, and other kind of colors. But honestly, if, again, if it resonates with you, then just use it. If a hot pink candle or a violet candle resonates with you, then you can use that too. Again, it's not black and white. It's really something you can make your own. Um, so some other common items people might have or use would be like deity symbols if that's something that's in their beliefs. Essential oils, which awesome. Spell jars, which I'm going to talk more about spell jars in a future episode. I'm going to do a whole episode on those. Moon imagery, especially if you're making it for like the new moon or the full moon. And then a journal or a book of shadows, which a book of shadows is also a journal. It's a type of journal where people who do practice will record spells and rituals and things like that. I'm gonna order myself a book of shadows if I really want one. And then I think I'll add that to mine as well. And I'm literally writing that down too. Everything I have to write everything down. And the nice thing about this too is that it doesn't have to cost, a ton of money. You don't have to go out and buy all these fancy items and crystals and stuff. Like you can really use anything that means something to you. You can use pictures of people. You can use nature items, which I like the idea. You can use flowers and leaves and grass. You could use acorns or seeds. Like you could really use anything you want as long as it resonates with you. It has a meaning to you for some reason. That's really the important part, is that it's meaningful to you specifically. So basically, after you get, the items that you're going to use, you just want to choose a space. You can make it on a table, you can make it in your closet, on the floor, by a tree, in your garden, on a windowsill, pretty much anywhere you want. You can make it anywhere you want, however you want, really up to you. And it's recommended that you cleanse it. And by cleansing it, I mean physically, a space it's in, it's like a clean space. So if you're going to make it on a table, have the table cleared off and just have that on the table for that time being, even if you're not going to leave it up and you're going to take it down and put it away, like while it's up, just have it just be a neat and clean space. And then if you want to, you can spiritually cleanse it. Again, these things aren't recommended. It's what you want to do. So to spiritually cleanse it, some people will use smoke, some people will use sounds, you could use sage, um, you can use intentions even to cleanse it, same thing. Really anything you feel that resonates with you. I love sage. Um, there's something that my girlfriend really likes to burn, and the name of it is completely slipped my mind. It's something I actually don't like it. I don't like the smell of it, but she loves it, so I try to be a little tolerable of it. She's not a huge fan of sage either, but I love sage, so that's something else I will also get into, like burning sage and just different things you can burn for cleansing purposes. Um, I'll do that in a future episode as well. So after you do that and you do your cleansing, and if you choose to spiritually cleanse it, then you just want to add your items, whatever items you're choosing. And then I think one of the most important things about it, honestly, is to set your intentions with it. So basically, you want to say out loud or silently to yourself, or if you're more comfortable, you can write it down. But you want to set your intentions for what the purpose of your altar is, what you're using it for. Are you using it to do spell work? Are you using it to honor somebody alive or, that's passed? Are you using it for Sabbats, for the full moon? Like, what are you using it for? So again, you don't have to say it out loud. You can say it silently to yourself, whisper it to yourself, say it in your mind, write it down. As long as you put that focus into it, and your intention is behind that, that's really what's important. And then you just use it. You use it for whatever it is you actually built it for, however you choose. And then you can take it down, and you don't have to, it doesn't have to be the same. You can add to it, you can take things away from it, you can change things however you want to do it. So I have not made mine yet, but when I make mine, I think I'm gonna put a bundle of sage in there. Again, I love sage, and I have burned sage, but for some reason I just like the way the bundle of sage looks. So I'm gonna put like the whole bundle in mine. And then I have this cute little skull crystal that I bought. I don't remember even where I found it, but I saw it somewhere and I had it. I think it was at a fair, now that I think about it. I think it was at it was some kind of fair, or it was either a fair or the powwow that we went to. I can't remember, but I found it there and I really wanted it. So I bought that and it's really cute. So I think I'm gonna add that. And in the future, I think I'm gonna add some spell jars once I get into making those. And I'd like to add like essential oils and some more items from nature as well. But I'm also gonna add a pentagram. I have multiple pentagrams. I have one in my car that and I used to be so embarrassed about this, but my girlfriend kind of made me get over that because she just thought it was like adorable and nice. But like every time I pass um a dead animal on the road, the pentagram that's hanging from my rearview mirror, I just grab it and I rub it just as like a way of like kind of honoring it, because I'm really big on animals also being living creatures and they should be honored and cared for. And then if we are going on like long trips or even day trips or something where we have to drive a little bit farther away, I usually make sure I'm wearing my pentagram necklace and I rub my pentagram a lot and just, ask that we can get there and back safely. So I also have a pentagram necklace, like I said. and I wear that pretty much every day. If I'm putting a necklace on, that necklace is on me, and I wear that along with um, a necklace that's actually angel wings and an urn with my stepbrother's ashes in it, who passed away a few years ago. So I wear the pentagram every day with the other necklace, the angel necklace. And then I have a pentagram also hanging in my room. And the pentagram that I have hanging in my room is the one that I want to put on my altar. And the pentagram, I would just like to say, is commonly misconceived as being a bad thing. You'll see in like horror movies, people go down into the basement of this house that they bought that was really cheap and all this weird stuff's happening, and there's like big giant pentagrams on the wall, and like, oh my gosh, they were devil worshippers. But the pentagram has nothing to do with anything satanic. It's actually a symbol of protection. That's historically what it was created for. I'm gonna do like a whole episode on pentagrams and just kind of like symbols, and I'll get more into that. But yeah, huge misconception. It is not a satanic thing. It's not for devil worshiping. And then I'm also gonna add this crystal this other crystal I have. It's a crystal wrapped in copper wiring with a copper chain around it that my girlfriend had got me, because copper is supposed to be is used for a variety of things like healing, and it's even used for like physical pain and stuff like that. And I'll talk more about that too in a future episode. And coppervibrations.com is where she got it. They have all kinds of stuff. It's pretty cool. But it was just really cool because the crystal she got me is called pink aragonite, which I probably said that wrong, to be honest. Um, and they send you like information about it, like its element, the chakra, the zodiac, the number of vibrations, all stuff I will talk about more in a future episode. But this one in particular was for a lot of healing purposes, healing the inner child, healing emotional wounds, regulating your nervous system, emotional clarity, things like that. She bought it for me because I have a lot of like inner child work I'm doing and childhood trauma that I'm healing, um, just mental health stuff that I'm healing. So, which again, I will talk more about. But it was just really sweet because she's just a very sweet human who just loves me with everything she has. I'm very lucky. So I definitely want to add that to my altar. And then, like I said, as I go, I want to add more and more stuff. So yeah, that is basically a wrap on episode 2. As you can tell, there are a ton of topics I have to cover in future episodes. I don't want to put too much into one episode, so I have a list that just keeps on growing of different topics I want to cover in future episodes. So, like I said, episode 3, we're going to dive deeper into Sabbats. And every few episodes, I'm going to dive deeper into the conversation part of the podcast because, again, it is Crystal's Cauldrons and Conversations. So I'm going to dive deeper into the conversation part of it every few episodes where I talk more about mental health and wellness, healing, um, including some of my own personal stories and journeys. So definitely stay tuned for that. So, yeah, I just want to say thank you for listening. And I cannot wait to welcome you back for episode 3. If there's stuff you would like to hear me talk about, I would love your comments, love your feedback. You can leave all that stuff in the comment section. If you have questions, you can leave that in the comment section. I will gladly answer them in a future episode. Um, and yeah, share this with your friends, share with your family. You can follow the Facebook page called Crystal's Cauldrons and Conversations, has the same profile picture as the podcast does, and I give updates on there about when the next episode's coming out, what the topics will be. I also post pictures on there of like things that I'm doing. Like I posted a picture of my jar of moon water after I made it, stuff like that. If you are doing any kind of practicing, I would love to see it. So look for the posts, comment on it. I will probably post a picture of my altar once I make it, and I would love to see pictures of yours as well if you feel comfortable sharing that. So follow that on Facebook. Um, for all the updates, and I will see you back here for episode 3. And as always, stay magical.